Hello viewers and welcome to KID-AFAN Salone Discoveries. Me na Asana Tolabel Sila, and the program we are about for watch right now na Salone Morning Discoveries, where they meet you live from we studio na Campbell Street. With me na the studios this morning I get Habib Kamara, we are the Executive Director for Social Linkages for Youth Development and Child Link.
Yeah, good morning. Good morning, viewers.
Quickly take me through your organization.
Yeah, my organization, Social Linkages for Youth Development and Child Link, is a civil society organization that works with youth and children that are associated with drugs in Sierra Leone. So we don't work with young people, them, youth and picking them, we are associated with drugs in Sierra Leone. And we get drop-in centers in 6 districts where they operate. And we do harm reduction program in Sierra Leone through the HIV and national response in Sierra Leone, and we advocate for policy review in terms of drug-related issues and the human rights for the drug users.
So, how on our organization don't they work for ensure say the intake of drugs is limited in the country throughout the years?
Yeah, we don't work na Sierra Leone at the 6 districts where they try where just they talk of who they operate. We don't reach out. Some are transforming, some are hard for men and transform because drug users are people when you don't transform them and not get anything in a livelihood, then go return back to the drugs where them be there. So we don't do well and we don't do it. We don't try we on beat and we don't raise awareness in terms of drug-related issues in Sierra Leone. Going forward, we don't work for promote the health and we don't promote the human rights whenever they are in conflict with law enforcers. So this we don't do in the country.
Okay, quickly, make we go to the issue of Kush in the country. We don't see on social media, we don't see different videos where you get people waiting in their uniform, you get other civilians they say, we don't they take drugs, and we don't see how then they behave, where a normal human being not go behave so. What are you take on this? Because we say there are different types of Kush. Maybe we talk first about the different types of Kush. The Kush where people they say they come outside the camp, and the Kush where people they say they're in the country. What are you take on this?
Me take Kush na a national pandemic where this country don't get. We and stakeholders then we for come up with forget a multi-sectoral approach. With Kush way on in the country with all the sick clips there now, and we they go to places. And me drop-in center, I get people then way they get this Kush problem where they candy. Kush used to come, but Kush is no longer coming. Now they are manufacturing Kush in Sierra Leone, we're very horizon. The chemicals then when they take use Kush, now the Ministry of Health get an custodial rights to one of the chemicals the way and they take mix this substance with we na formalin, and they take formalin is meant for preserve dead body, and they take and make this Kush with, and then they take Kush na a stream of cannabis or opioid where Kush the original one where they come where they go na other places then they come out Afghanistan or Pakistan. But now we get the kind Kush now where they make here, and they use marijuana leaf, and add then chemicals and mix them back with kumbejara. We all know how kumbejara harmful in this country. So now then thing then they take. Now you see the overdose don't they now. The Kush where they make now, people don't turn themselves into chemists. We get all labs within the country where they make then cheap Kush there, they kill people them. And they make people then they disgrace. Now, Kush, as my intro, I say it is a national pandemic. A national pandemic in the sense, just like how we raise a pandemic on COVID we just done and Ebola. Now the same thing we need for take Kush now because Kush don't go into the security sector. Those that are supposed to protect life and property, it is now within that time. That don't really critical now. We see now say. Yesterday, I was at another television station. Somebody was calling out that Kush don't go to we schools them. And if you go to we schools them, again for be catastrophe for this country. How for able minimize that? As we speak, this country do not have a rehabilitation for those that are taking drugs. And anybody who get drugs problem, we rush with that person to the Kisi Psychiatric Hospital Way for it stigmatize the drug users, and the drug users they will get drug problem. When they go the medications they when they give them a Kisi psychiatric hospital, they give them urgent for taken, but the actual person will get mental health problem. If they get lagatin, they become violent because you know what lagatin go do am. If they get lagatin, it go down about 1 or 2, 3 days. But the person when they take drugs, when they get another form of drugs, then they enjoy them. That is the reason when they don't discharge them from that facility, they know they go far again. Then they try to stay along that community for when they get access to this drug. Drug problem na a problem in this country. If we not put a multi-sectoral approach to WhatsApp, we go for lost a lot of young people. In this 2022, April to be precise, the National HIV Secretariat pulled a statistics of people who are living with HIV. The percentage is 1.8%, and which is about 78,000 people are living with HIV, but only 34,000 that are on treatment. They balance the inside the young population. You see the trench, and now Kush day. People where they take Kush, more especially Kush, not of man and now they take her. The girl themselves now they take her. The woman and now they take her. This time, and when they take her, then they get a sexual perversion. When they go into sex, they will not even have to make condom negotiation. They get for be high, and the increase of HIV they come in. Recently, we saw a porno. Now, this country where people they use hand or food in sexual what? Any able man we know they under the influence of drugs now they do behave so.
Okay, I mean quick make we go back to the formation of Kush. You make mention about formalin, marijuana, kumbejaga way youth then our people and they use now for make Kush way then they use that country. So take me through back how then they make this and whose evidence una gets here as an institution or an organization for not saying that particular substance there so then they use for make Kush where people they use now in the country.
The evidence we they get them from the one they will work with.
Okay.
Last week we lost 2 of football then alumni, then a testers. Then Kush they are where the manufacturer now. Then everybody when are testers then. That about blessed memory to them now. Then test that drugs they who said then sit down, sweat just cover them, now die then die. There are a lot of cases of overdose within the country. And we evidence it is, we serve the worker, we do investigation, because now them people they are who they work with, and we are a organization, we in a harm reduction specialty where we get for remove harm from the drug users them on the drugs. So we don't see, and we know that the Kush will become a different than this one where they can right now. So now for that we get the evidence, and everybody in this country knows that now Kush is being manufactured in this country, and places then they sell and Kush there, and we know about themselves where they take her. If we ask them or still the way they take her now, yeah. So it is really heart-rending to this nation, and we all need to come up holistically, multi-sectorially, how to reach out to this drug. Just like how in 2019 we are raised alarm on Pampers. We have been raised alarm on Pampers that Pampers don't come as a drug. People begin to wait itself. So, but later, less than 2 weeks, man, they begin to see Pampers don't take over. Now, na Kush day. And now that drugs then they don't come. So tomorrow, where Kush they go down, Spark 5 7 don't come back. Spark 5 na a tablet. Where they come out Asia, but it is not in our medical books or illegal for Canada this country through the pharmacy board, but it in the country. So we were the authorities them, we were they work with young people them, the country as a whole. This has now become a national public health emergency for us, government. Last week, Parliament debate on this drug increased at the country. And even now, Sierra Leone is coming to vote to election. If this continue, it will disenfranchise a lot of young people not going able to go vote. Because we see, we person don't take Kush now. Now sleep, it is sleep. By the time do they clean, people then they go fetch for waiting and they get, then still team up, they sleep. You see, possibly
so Habib, we say exactly, we see people and they sleep. So how long it can take in the system based on our investigations?
As soon as then they don't wake, and they give them urge back for get another one. For we when a harm reduction specialist, somebody will get overdose. You not take overdose therapies them like naloxone, opium substitutional therapy, or methadone. He wake for himself, he get bokuti where they tear inside his system. And this crucial, anybody where they take him, in lungs they become disturbed, in kidney go pack, in nervous systems they collapse.
So that's going to be my next question. What we will ask you about the side effects of
the side effects more this Kush, because we are talking more about Kush. 1, the nervous system, they collapse. 2, that person the kidney go pack. 3, that person the in blood not go the flu circulate, like how they circulate before, and it gets other underlying diseases. Then, if that person they you be get kidney problem, you don't know, because this country will not dey test, or you be get hypertension, or you be get what you call diabetes. You prone for me, you die quick. And anybody where they use this kind of Kush where they make right now in this country, you stay one of the acts. Now God na get life, but scientifically proven with any chemical substance they are, you not go take past 1 year. And if we not try for eradicate this, we health system strengthening forget a lot of bondage, a lot of work for do, because Sierra Leone will not get a better health system strengthening. Now, combined with this Kush we don't come. Now problem we healthcare workers they don't get. And we not get a rehabilitation home for rehabilitate people who get drug related issues. So now for that they call upon government. She has to say something about this drug we don't come. It is a national pandemic where we all need for come together how for eradicate them. More not just left and so inside with society. Getting back to with schools them. Now for that me get a me don't already get a program for schools them, catch them when they are young. And I don't write concept notes to the military and the police for more we reach out to sensitize them. People they all they see na social media where Kush always said, now they would see, but go where then they said Kush. The problem of Kush, again for being a multi-sectoral approach, we get people that way get their houses then, and the people that they manufacture them here, now they sell them. We need to put a tougher response into them and the users. For we, the users them, they need a public health attention, not incarceration. The supply route, this that a court with itself. Now simple economics. If we cut the supply route, the demand they withdraw. People, law enforcers need for now know their strategies. Who side they make them push them. The areas they where they come out, make we target them. May we not just go behind the users. The users for we, they need more than public health attention. Possibly they use drug, get a human right, and get a right to a health. That person where they use drug, for we, that person is sick. That person need an approach. Than taking that person, go put on a Pademba Road or other prisons them, where they come out as a hardcore criminal. Drug will not be they use out. Where they come out prison, they use drug. If that person don't go prison, if he go straight, where they come out now, they go straight. Straight in the sense, it becomes MSM. It go begin do mommy and daddy business with him. Copy man. So we are all seeing this thing where they come out from prisons where you incarcerate person. Now the international best practice that people where they use drugs need attention, not for go put them in prison. Government is spending a lot of money for people that where they put in a prison. We say that money where they use spend in a prison, many investors into harm reduction, it go able to rehabilitate them.
Go for holiday and come back as they go quickly for a short week.
Dora fights tooth and nail to keep her real love alive.
I am going to forgive her.
The constructive and productive KID-AFAN films proudly presents Endless Love.
Then it means that you are no longer useful to me anymore.
But how can love be endless when it is painfully entangled with politics, corruption, money, fame, and pride?
And if I am the chief minister, I say my son will not be sitting in the same class as that boy.
I am really worried.
Make sure.
Yet she's been forced to love the son of the chief minister.
How much do you want to stay off the It's only a fool that can think that I can trade my love with you.
Filled with emotion, action, and betrayal means enjoying culture and romance like never before.
I am not aware of him having issues.
Junior is not changing.
Those are what makes a man. What do you think a woman needs from a man?
Why would you get yourself involved with a shoemaker?
He's not a shoemaker. He's a student just like us.
Love overcome politics. Find out in this breathtaking suspenseful movie packed with tantalizing drama you can't resist.
Calm down and tell me what she has done wrong.
Just shut up!
Endless Love, starring Desmond Finney, Sylvia Robert, Mark Lopenant Bangura, Ishmael Dadis Bangura, Kadeatu Conte, Haja Masiri Conte Miss COVID 2021, Al Idris Demore, and many more.
You're bringing yourself into this fight, guys.
He's after my son.
Why are you barking at everyone close to me as if you are my dog?
Endless Love, produced by the Game Changer, Dr. Aissatou Kake-Jallow, written by Ishmael Dadis Bangura, edited by Abbas Askar Sharif, and directed by Mohammed Shaggy Kabo and the Game Changer, Dr. Aissatou Kake-Jallow. Executive producer, Dr. Aissatou Kake-Jallow, the Game Changer.
You want your son, so stay away from her.
There should be no problem.
No need to worry in this case.
So you're in this as take it easy.
Take it easy!
What is wrong with you? Huh? Are you mad?
Will premiere at the prestigious all-new Freetown City Hall on Friday, 30th December 2022. Entrance fee, regular 100 leons, silver 150 leons, gold 250 leons, diamond 350 leons, and platinum 500 leons. Be part of this great event. Endless Love. Don't miss it.
Welcome back, viewers, to KID-AFAN Salonediscoveries, and the program where they watch na Salone Morning Discovery, and me na Asanatu Labelsila. With me na the studio again, I get with me Habib T. Kamara, who side will talk about drug issue in the country. Well, Habib, welcome back to the program.
Yeah.
So Habib, we see say June 26th every year, na day where the world they celebrate against drugs, the abuse of drugs in the country. How una been celebrate this particular day?
June 26 na an international day against drug and illicit trafficking. We became into being in 1987, and Sierra Leone is a signatory to that. And since then, all countries they celebrate this time now for raise awareness in terms of drugs in every country. This year we did a national symposium on drugs review policy what we get. Sierra Leone, we get National Drug Control Act in 2008, where we see that act needs a review.
Yes, Abuan, let me just talk first.
On the day.
On the day, then we go country because we need to talk more on that.
On that day, we will call stakeholders then for more raise awareness on the drug-related issues that the country, for more we profile a better solution, how for able and eradicate or put provisions into places the one way they use drugs, how we able reach out to them, how we able rehab to them, how we able implement harm reduction program. So June 26 this year, which fall on Sunday, but on Monday we celebrated in this country what we call the United Nations, the UN AIDS, NDLA, and other stakeholders, then the Ministry of Internal Affairs, because now they're in charge of drug-related issues, the police, and the Kisi psychiatric hospitals, and like-minded Sierra Leoneans, researchers from all sit on one side, we have our says on the way how drug-related issues they go on at the country.
You don't make mention of the people in way una be invited for this particular day, and so we wanna be celebrate this day. But we not see or hear you make mention about the people in way really or actively involved in the intake of drugs. You make mention about 2 young citizens that we been died within Lumley. Una can get a program, una can get way, una can get one-on-one contact, one-on-one interaction with their youth that are actively involved in the intake of drugs.
On this year activities, we do our 6 operational side. We take what we call face-to-face. It's a focus group discussion. Whereas we go in our communities, they sensitize them about this day. We take an approach, we reach out to them, talks about drugs, talk about HIV, their health issues, and counseling them. The one that we opt for test, we can test them. And anybody that is, how can I call it? Anybody that is being positive, we do referrals. Either now we drop in centers or we do referrals to the health facilities. So now that will be due for the population where we work with. For many know about this day, many know about the health rights, and do a test. Anybody who is sick will do referrals because that's now we mandate called for. So now that we do, and we get a stakeholders engagement now, engaging the stakeholders that people that are doing, using drugs need attention. So we for concentrate and make solutions for them despite their activities when they do. It is criminal in our law. But through the public health approach, through the human rights approach, we make that platform for go to reach out to them people then they. And it came out successful, and communicate came we share with people them. And even if I work now on with drug users them, with regards that we are not do me work, police can arrest me. But in we law we will get, if you me the advocate, police can arrest me. But because of the public health caveat and the country self no say now, if we want to attain what we call the UHC, which is the universal health coverage by 2030, all countries foresee that HIV, drug-related issue, not for be a public health issue. So government for make provisions for reach out to them people there, we hard to reach. For drug users, these are hard to reach people them. More they do one program in Sierra Leone. The program where they do Sierra Leone, where they say harm reduction in the HIV response, we are giving out clean needles and syringes to those who inject drugs. Why would they do that? Because if people where they inject drug, research don't tell we say they are 76% prone for get HIV and hepatitis because of my company don't know my status. If I'm positive now, inject myself with the drug, we exchange and instead can inject himself with that drug, with that needle. The sequel I get, they get them. So in 2019, despite the law is criminal, but government see as a need that we for put a platform for good reach to them people then they.
Alright, you still they look Salone Morning Discovery with we live now with studio na Campbell Street and me na Asana Tolabensela. Our people can look at the Sierra Leone 2018 Drug Control Act, we establish a national drug law enforcement agency. Waiting really as an institution now na take on this law effective. Now the correct one, is there any amendment on a feel safe for being made in this particular law so?
The law came into being in 2008. We all Sierra Leoneans know say in 2008, a cocaine plane landed from Venezuela to Sierra Leone, and by them, Sierra Leone no be get any act for try the one that will become with the cocaine plane. The then parliament and the then government by them rushed for give this country a act under a certificate of emergency. For we as activists there will be saying say it not be right. Because drug-related issues that in for give an act has to take a certain time. But for tried them people and then just a week, the then parliament rushed and give an act. And this act, from where it come on, will be saying say this act here a discriminatory. And this act make provision, even possession of a drug, you dey go jail for that. Frequency, what do we mean about frequency? If here then they say drug here, police come for car arrest, you they pass before this slash building here, then see you, they say frequency, then they hold you for that. So, we say and say it is discriminatory to the users. And possession, then the whole person for one marijuana in this country, based on we law, current law we get, you they go prison for 5 years. And government is spending per any prisoner more than 200,000 a day. So the narrative has shifted. The global trend don't shift now. Say America, where we say put war on drug. 30 days they not succeed war on drugs. Now, 3 weeks back, we don't see that the American president, Joe Biden, don't decriminalize all the one away the prison when I be drug users them. They don't really release them. Because the prison they get a overbondage of population. People go to prison for just one cannabis. Put on there for 5 years. When they come out in a hardcore criminal to the nation. It go don't go use other drugs than they, other patterns than they, when it come back, that is a crime. So now when they say these are petty crimes, drug users need attention. They supply routes. Now they with concentration for them now. Like how this Kush then at this country now. Who rather the manufacturer, who rather the seller, now they with attention for go. Not on the users. The users, they have problem. They have their human rights and they have their public health right, which is the responsibility of government of Sierra Leone for reach out to all its citizens there. In 2016, I attended a conference where they call UNGAS. UNGAS, na the United Nations General Assembly on drug-related issues, where recommend 100 recommendations for countries then for buy one harm reduction what they do. Now, the one way they use drugs, they need for reduce the harm from the drugs when they take, but the current law will get no make provision for harm reduction. So, in the second opening of Parliament, under this current regime, President Biobi say we go review the 2008 Drug Act for me to get a human face that drug users themselves go become protected, but that review not be it. Now government is spending about 21.1% of we national GDP on free quality education. Those that are supposed to attend or make use of that provisions are sleeping, are on drugs. So we need to review those laws and put some immune weighty self and protect the younger pikin them. Catch them pikin them and protect them. Article 2033 of the United Nations Act, where say we for protect the younger pikin them against drugs. Then they all we for come up with them. And the 16th of this month, there is a very big conference on child's matter, on drug-related issue, where they go represent Sierra Leone, na India, for this what he say, more go learn best practice for me we self can how we able use or protect them picking them, they not for go into drugs. Because we get a lot of picking them where them parents them, then caregivers them, they take drugs or they even send them for men and go buy drugs. So we want to know now that conference day, this is the first ever opportunity for this kind of conference for me it be for protect the set of younger people then. So the 2008 Drug Act, for us it is discriminatory. For us, we don't see it now. For the present trench where they go now say a absolute. From 2008 to now long time don't go. We need for catch up with the present trench where they go. Now for that, they call upon the review of drug policy and decriminalize some aspect of drug-related issue. When we say decriminalize, we are not saying they should legalize. When they say decriminalize, you decriminalize and regulate the process, how drug-related issues they go. Even drugs the way they now with medical books, where they send a pharmacy, we don't see and say people there, they misuse them. Yeah. But it is in our law books. Drug is just like alcohol. For we, alcohol is a drug. And alcohol is spoiling this country. I am the current chairman of Sierra Leone Alcohol Policy Alliance. As we speak, Sierra Leone get an alcohol policy. We get an alcohol policy where so obsolete, where old past every Sierra Leonean. The first alcohol policy that be under colonial masters then, we then call an alcohol ordinance. That come on in 1919. And in 1924, we reviewed that with itself. And in 1978, they review and back for many put what we call the Palm Wine Act, where government of Sierra Leone be one made and sell Poyo. And acts be reviewed. From that time, they will not get what to say. But we will say you get the best practice for alcohol. Picking where they below the age of 18 or they access alcohol. You know they sell picking for go sell alcohol. Because we not get that kind of policy in Sierra Leone. Now for that you see anybody say we want to start for do business. Now alcohol they start with. And alcohol for we it is outside, easily accessible, it's cheap for accessible. And we forget a standardized content way for them. More especially they will look at alcohol there what they would say. Look at alcohol chatted there. Beer na 5%, but then sachet the way they sell 5,000. The alcohol sachet so na 45%. Divide 45 by 5, na nearly about 6 pints stout or 6 pints beer. So you see how it is killing us. So, despite towards alcohol, we the third government say for them cheap alcohol sachet they are. We for regulator not to all man for sell them. Time for sell them. For day and not to all residential area they for sell alcohol. Nobody know for sell picking where they below the age of 18 for go access alcohol. And again, we don't already develop an alcohol policy. It is now then at the Ministry of Health and the minister in table for my appendix in signature day. After that, we will try for move back the parliament from where we get and act towards that alcohol policy. But drug-related issue, my sister, it is a problem. We miss out as a country. With the war done at this country, we just rush, we put gun now with soldier man in hand. The TLC report say 85% of the one that we fought the war, we are drug users. That then people, then after we don't reintegrate them to communities, that then go begin to sell drugs in our community. We begin afraid that hey, they want to they go fight war, but we will not do anything. And as I speak, we will not have any rehab center. But thanks to ECOWAS in the next 2 to 3 weeks, they open a rehab center where they don't rehabilitate some part of the KID Psychiatric Hospital for rehab center because it starts from somewhere. But for we, rehabilitation center not for day na rehabilitation center not for day na the KID Psychiatric Hospital because if somebody get drug related issue they say they don't care and go na KID Psychiatric Hospital. When you come back to the community they say that na crazy be crazy they care and go but na drug issues they get.
Well, now I go on for say plenty thank you to Habib Kamara, when the executive director for social leakages for youth development and child link for where he take with him this morning for can't talk to we or to an organization and also the bad effects them way Kush don they create na people in life and waiting the country as a whole for do for ensure say the intake of drugs will reduce na the country. I also want for say plenty thank you to we executive producer when our Dr. Isaac Jalo and the camera crew as well and to you we don't take your time for discover this particular story with you this morning. Plenty thank you for we take your time for watching. Well, so to go meet for another edition. Now so I go one for say tata me na Asana to Label Sila.